Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. I didn't really intend to do another video this week, but and I don't really intend to be a breaking news channel, but today there was some large breaking news, actually yesterday by the time you see this posting, but I will have the messages directly as they were posted on screen by both eBay and PWCC, so feel free to pause it and read through the entire messages yourself if you've not already seen them and read them. But I'll kind of paraphrase each and then give my thoughts on everything that's happening and a little bit less my thoughts, commentary, speculation. I'm going to try to stay away from that. More what I'm going to do with that information as far as my items in the vault and my items that were headed to auction, because I did have several items going live tonight and tomorrow night, and I have been using them to sell a few dozen items every month. So anyways, out of nowhere, I was actually on my phone browsing my email. I saw this email as it came in. I immediately went over to E4 and started the thread. So I think we're already up to 11 or 12 pages on that thread. eBay came out of nowhere with this email talking about how they have policies in place to prevent shill bidding. Everything's based on trust. The important quote: recently it was determined that individuals associated with a trading card seller, PWCC, have engaged in shill bidding, which is prohibited on eBay. This is really, I think, the key sentence in the entire statement. And I think that people have taken the words, which are fairly vague, and they've blown them up into things that eBay, like they're saying that eBay's saying certain things that they're not. Um, so individuals associated with PWCC is kind of the important verbiage. Uh, a lot of people have taken that to mean PWCC employees. Clearly, PWCC employees are associated with the company. Um, the way that this could be read, though, and the way that I more read it is, I'm a consignee. I'm someone who uses PWCC service. I utilize their vault. I've sent vault items to auction. Um, I've never engaged in show bidding, but the way that this is written, I could take it to mean consignees of PWCC have shill bid on their items. And I think that's a general enough statement that given the volume they do, that's almost a certainty. I mean, some amount of people, shill bidding is kind of a rampant thing on eBay. Uh, I haven't done auctions very frequently within the past year or two, but years ago I did it, and I'd have higher than I liked unpaid item rate because people would just shill an item that should go for 500 bucks. They'd just shill it up double, triple what it should go, whether it was people who didn't like me and just wanted to screw with my auctions, or whether it was people who owned the item and wanted to inflate the price. But shill bidding can come from so many different people, so many different angles. Uh, so I think that, again, I'm not trying to speculate as to what eBay did mean. I'm just trying to say that when people take the leap to say employees of PWCC, eBay didn't say that. Individuals associated with eBay or individuals associated with PWCC could simply be consignees of PWCC. And after that, eBay limited their selling capabilities, and I'm recording this pretty late Tuesday night, and as of right now, the vault, all items have been delisted, and PWCC auctions, all items have been delisted. So next I'll go to PWCC's reply. There we go. So basically, PWCC comes out with a statement a few hours later. They were shocked to see eBay's email. To their knowledge, no employees have ever engaged in shill bidding behavior. PWCC goes to great lengths to ensure that they follow eBay's rules. They're considering all available legal options in response to the defamatory press release, bad faith action. Essentially, they basically just refuted everything that eBay said. They said that they were very shocked by it. They said that there had been no conversations prior. And again, to stay away from any speculation as to why or how or what. One thing that is known, in the next several weeks, PWCC does have its own platform. A few months back, they launched the Premier Auction, which exists solely on their platform, on their website, separate entity from eBay. And in the coming weeks or months, they also have a more standard auction format separate from eBay. So anybody who had their items canceled, as far as I'm aware, the default will be, if you had auctions going live this month or planned for next month, the default is that they'll be shifted over to this new PWCC platform. Historically, one of the terms and conditions of like PWCC's sending an item to auction, once you click send to auction, you could not change it, you could not pull it back. If it went to auction and it went unpaid, they'd relist it in the next month. I think that due to the fact that you agreed to have it auctioned on eBay and now they're going to be transitioning to this new platform, I believe they're waiving that previous mandate, and they're giving you a kind of a grace period or the ability to pull those back into your vault if you don't want to be a guinea pig for their new auction marketplace. And to get into the portion of the video, I'll take this off screen now because I think we've covered both messages, but all that is there. Whatever it is, it is. I think a lot of people are really putting on their tinfoil hats and coming up with all these theories, all this speculation. And if you want that, you can go to other channels and I'm sure you can find a lot of theories. And I think on E4, I might have posted some kind of a theory, which probably isn't best to do. But yeah, I guess at the end of the day, what are you going to do with this information? What's the best way to act or react to this? And I think for me personally, I'm going to try to not react too quickly. So I'm going to reach out to PWCC later this week or next week. I'm sure they're going to be swamped, and the reply times for their chat are probably going to be substantial for the next couple of days. So next week, I intend to reach out to them. I have about 50 items slated for each month this year, their monthly auctions. So I'm just going to say, hey, for my August and September auctions, I had about 50 items each month. Please don't default me into including those in the next auctions on PWCC's platform. Please return those to my vault and let me, when the time comes, I'll probably send a couple dozen items into the first month, just lower tier items, just to kind of test it out. I don't mind being a guinea pig with 10 or 20 items that I'm not too worried about. But yeah, I've seen people talking about emptying their vaults, emptying their account balances and requesting payouts, and that's all fine. I mean, if you're nervous about it, they're your cards. It's you can do whatever you want. But personally, I'm not emptying my entire vault. I have 6 figures worth of cards there. I'm certain they're safe. I'm certain they're not going anywhere. I do once a month, I request my payout. I use the ACH transfer to transfer funds from my PWCC account to my bank account. And the day that I do that, I always do that the day that the prior month's auction payouts hit. Well, July auction payouts just hit, and I'll get into this in future videos, but I did have quite a bit I sold, a little over 100 items in July, low 5 figures. So that just hit today. On a normal month, I would request my balance to come to me the day that it hits from the auction payouts. So I did today. I think a lot of people are doing that, even though they didn't intend to, out of the their normal way of operating. And yeah, just a lot of people intending to drain their entire vault. And I'm just going to take the approach, let's wait, give them a chance to, both eBay and PWCC, to maybe have a few more responses on each side, see where it goes. It seems unlikely that PWCC is going to do any more auction blocks on eBay, but yeah, I'm definitely going to look forward to see what they do with this new auction platform. The first month or two of their premier auction were a little rocky. I wasn't bidding on any things, but I heard that they really had some hiccups and not so great performance with that. But I'm more hopeful for their auction marketplace, and I'm just going to wait and see how it goes. One thing I am going to look for, though, eBay has such massive reach. When you take them off eBay to their own proprietary platform, especially in the early months, I think that there's going to be really great buying opportunities potentially. Saying that, it's, well, why would you send 10 or 20 cards to be a guinea pig in the first auction? I'm going to send some lower tier stuff that I'm not too worried about. I have nothing into, I'm not too worried about what I end up getting, so I'll send those. But yeah, I really think there might be some deals to be had, just because some percentage of their normal buyers won't have their accounts set up on PWCC. They won't have, I mean, eBay has tens of millions of buyers registered, ready to go. PWCC, I mean, they're big for us in the trading card hobby, but there's just not nearly as many eyes, not nearly as many bidders ready to go. Some amount of people, anybody who's watching this video, you're hearing about this news the day after. You probably heard a lot about it the day of, but we're really ingrained into the hobby, and we, like, not the average person, it wasn't such a big day for them. It wasn't such big news that they heard immediately. And over the next coming weeks and months, tons of new people will be hearing about this for like the first time, even though it feels like it's such big news to us, and it's so big in our day. It's not going to be on everyone's radar like that. But I think, yeah, I think that covers everything I wanted to talk about. I really don't want to get into speculating. As far as, I guess, the shill bidding thing, I know that PWCC, I mean, I've watched them actively remove bids that were beyond suspect. I mean, back in the hype days when some of the big Twitch streamers, Mizkif and whoever else, they'd pull up a Jungle Booster box live on their stream as it was ending, and viewers would just shill bid it to $1 million. PWCC, I mean, there were times where you could actively see those bids being removed. So clearly PWCC has done something historically to act against shill bidding, but how much, whether it was enough, where the shill bidding came from, nobody knows. There's no concrete evidence that's been given out by eBay to show who did it, when, and how much, whatever. Another point I guess I could touch on too, and I mentioned it in the complete base set collection buy I made. I bought that on a second chance offer, and I almost think that it was shilled, but at the end of the day, I bid an amount that I was willing to pay for the lot, and it came to me as a second chance offer. I bought it because I knew that the amount that I was willing to pay left room for profit, and I was happy paying it. So whether or not it was shill bid, it's like, at the end of the day, I won it for a price I was willing to pay. You can lose all the time you want. You can lose all the sleep you want wondering, well, was it shill bid or not? I've seen a lot of people today saying, oh, I won a card last month's auction. They must have shill bid me up. I feel like I overpaid by $100 or $1,000, whatever the case. It's like, if you won it, you won it for less than the max bid that you put in. You can spend all the time you want worrying and wondering, and you're never going to know whether or not it was actually shill bid. And at the end of the day, you put in your max bid, you won it. I mean, to me, Shill bid detective work has always been something that's too common in the hobby. I feel like too many people have these theories on, oh, there's too many bids, there's not enough bids, too low of feedback, too much bid activity with the seller. All I can say is I've sold to a lot of zero feedback buyers, many high dollar items to zero feedback buyers, and they've been perfectly good completed transactions. I've also sold to some people who had 80%, 100% bid activity with me, and they've been completed items and no issues. And the other way too. I mean, I've sold to people with 5,000 feedback that didn't pay, or that had really low bid activity with me and they didn't pay. So it's the end of the day, you're never really probably going to hear the entire story. But yeah, I think that's about everything I have. Anybody, you might not have noticed when I was small screen, but now that I'm full screen, some people might wonder like what my background is. My background is never anything too special. Usually it's this same shelf, but with, like, you can see a couple ETBs and you can see a couple posters maybe, or an uncut sheet. My office area is under construction. I'm actually pretty excited for when this gets wrapped up. It's going to be kind of a project over the coming weeks, so the background might change. Like, next video I do, it might just be like bare sheetrock unpainted. But yeah, I am building out a new space to film and to do my eBay packaging and all that. So I'll have a lot better ability for, as far, like, right now the lighting's terrible, but hopefully in this new space I should be able to really brighten things up, get better lighting, have more space, kind of a backdrop to have different sheets and graded cards and just have a nice, more attractive looking background. But yeah, as far as for the next week or two, you might see more drop cloths with paint all over them. You might see just bare studded walls, and tomorrow we're going to be doing the wiring and the sheetrock. So yeah, pretty interesting things coming on that end with the new office build out. So I'm excited for that, and I just kind of wanted to talk about the news of the day with PWCC and eBay, and I figured it's only going to be one day that I have the opportunity to have this backdrop. So yeah, I appreciate anyone who stuck around. Feel free to comment if you've got your own thoughts or opinions on what's going on with PWCC and eBay. If you're emptying your vault, if you're sending more cards out to your vault, I'm just going to be in a holding pattern for the coming weeks. I'm not sending anything new to them. I'd kind of plan to. I'm not calling anything back though. Thankfully, I didn't have like, I've actually seen a couple stories already where somebody had a very large auction block going in in August, because they needed to pay some bills, or they wanted to just get rid of their collection at this time. And I do feel for people who got bad timing and aren't going to be able to get the funds that they needed. I mean, those are the people that really are getting hit the worst off this. For me, I just lose a couple months of selling off some of the bulk slabs that I sent to them in March under their free promo. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting times got a little more interesting, I guess. But yeah, I appreciate you all watching, and I will catch you all later.